The day finally comes. He describes the house, not a mansion, but beautiful. A real home. You can almost feel the keys in his hand, right? Presenting them to his mom, his hands shaking. Nerves, anticipation, just the weight of it all. He remembers her eyes lighting up. And for just a second, maybe less, he thought, I did it. Finally. He believed in that tiny moment that all the sacrifice had paid off. He'd finally earned that approval.
And this raises such an important point, doesn't it? About how these moments of peak hope, peak anticipation can just turn on a dime into profound disappointment, sometimes trauma.
Yeah.
The emotional buildup he describes, it's intense. As you're listening, you're right there with him, feeling that hope, that sense of accomplishment. He's picturing a specific reaction, a recognition he feels he's earned through years of struggle. And then to have that deeply personal, hard-won moment, not just ignored, but actively given to someone else. It creates this awful emotional whiplash.
Whiplash is a good word for it.
It really shows how vulnerable we are when we make these big gestures, especially with family. The emotional investment is just so deep, the stakes are sky high, which means the fall.
Yeah.
It's just so much further.
And then came the twist, that devastating twist. After that flicker of hope, his mother turns and just hands the keys straight to his sister.
Unbelievable.
Her words are just stark. No hesitation. Your sister needs the s'more.
He says he just froze, couldn't process it.
How could you?
And then the sister makes it worse. She smirks, hugs their mom, and whispers, "Thanks, brother." Oof. That whisper.
Right. In the moment that was supposed to be his. The culmination of years of work, of longing. He's not just ignored, he's made invisible. He's standing there watching the thing he sacrificed everything for get handed over, and then that little twist of the knife with the, "Thanks, brother." What's going through someone's head psychologically at that point when your biggest gift is just rejected and re-gifted right in front of you?
Well, psychologically, that's not just rejection. It's a profound invalidation. And a kind of public humiliation, really, especially because it's done by the very person whose approval he craved most. His brain would just be scrambling, trying to make sense of it, trying to fit this shocking reality into the narrative he'd built his life around, the sacrifices, the motivations, this whole idea of family love.
It breaks the narrative.
Completely. And that smirk, that "thanks, brother," from the sister, that just pours salt in the wound. It adds this layer of almost deliberate cruelty. It shifts it from just being a mother's perhaps misguided decision into something that feels like a conspiracy against him. An event like that, it can deeply shake someone's sense of self-worth, lead to feelings of being unworthy, intense anger, and just a shattering of trust in those fundamental relationships. It's the kind of moment that could totally redefine how he sees himself and his place in his own family.
It sounds like a profound emotional injury.
Absolutely. He talks about wanting desperately to scream, to demand answers, to understand why.
Of course.
He wanted to shout, make himself seen, take back that moment that was stolen from him, but he couldn't. He was just stuck.
And the mother's response to his unspoken pain. It's really telling. She just says, "You'll understand. Family sacrifices for each other."
What does that even mean in this context?
Well, that statement is loaded, isn't it? It makes you wonder about her reasoning. Was it a genuine belief she held, a principle she lived by, maybe something passed down?
Or excuse?
Or was it a justification? A quick way to shut down his feelings, rationalize her actions, and maybe avoid a really messy confrontation.
Yeah, avoid the conflict. It could even be a kind of assertion of her authority. You know, the expectation that the son, the one who'd achieved some success, should naturally provide for the sibling seen as needing more, without question.
But the irony is crushing.
Exactly. That's what's so poignant. The son feels like he'd been sacrificing for her. All along, he gave up so much, not just for the house, but for what he hoped it stood for: her pride, her recognition, her love. And now he's being told to sacrifice again, this time for his sister, under this banner of family obligation, which basically cancels out his original, deeply personal sacrifice.
Right, it completely reframes it.
It really brings up that painful question: whose sacrifice actually counts? And who gets to decide what sacrifice means within a family? It shines a light on those power dynamics that are often invisible.
You're right, it's like she's redefining sacrifice on the spot and telling him, "You'll understand." It implies there's some higher wisdom he's just missing in his pain. It kind of shifts the blame onto him, doesn't it?
It does. It puts the burden of understanding onto the person who's been hurt.
The aftermath is just as heartbreaking. That night, he actually sat outside the house he bought, watched the lights go on, saw his mom and sister inside, happy together in his dream home.
Oh, man.
And sitting there in the dark, thinking about it all, he's left with this chilling question. Love is supposed to feel like betrayal. So we'll leave you, the listener, with the same question the narrator is wrestling with straight from the source. If you were in my place, would you forgive her or walk away forever?
Uh-huh.